Gulf Residential Oil, this is Beth. How may I help you? Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure. Let me check just a second. Can you give me do you have your account number available? 08. Okay. Okay. It looks like you made your last payment on June the 12th. In the amount of $32.23. It does look like you have a balance right now of $13.02. That's a portion that's part of July, right? You can make a payment now if you'd like, or you can wait. It's up to you. Your next payment will be due on the 22nd. Yes, ma'am. That will be fine. We're here till 5. We're open till 5 today if you want to come by. Yes, ma'am. My name is Beth, and I will be here until 5. And yes. Okay, great. I will be here. I look forward to seeing you then. Okay, bye-bye. Hey there. Welcome to Gulf Residential Oil. My name is Beth. Sorry about that. Yes, of course. Okay, I did. I spoke with you earlier. Right, that was me. Okay, so you are interested in residential oil, heating oil. Okay. And you just moved into your apartment. Okay, right. We discussed that on the phone. And can you tell me who you're renting with? Are you with, is it an individual or is, okay, Smith Street. I'm familiar with him. Let me look up that address. Let me see if we've done anything for that. It's a house, right? Let me see if we've done anything for that house before. We have, and it looks like they require you to take care of the heating oil. That is not something that they handle, so you have come to the right place. Did you receive any information in the mail? Have you requested a new customer packet? Okay, not a problem, not a problem. I keep copies of the forms here. I have a little collection of documents for new customers, and I'll be happy to go over these with you if you have just a few minutes. Great. And this is something that you don't have to complete today. You don't have to complete all this right now. And this is something that you can actually bring back later. Do you know when you'll need to have the services connected? Okay, good. So we have time. Excellent. Well, let me go over the first form, and this is the most important form to start. And this is the Oil Burner Maintenance and Parts Agreement. And this is one that we have all new customers complete. And it's very basic, very simple. It just requires some of your basic information down here. And we'll go over some of the parts and aspects of your system that we will cover. We like to go over all the forms personally to make sure that our customers understand everything, and if you have any questions, you can ask them. So we like to try to do that personally to make sure that you understand everything involved in the service. Okay, wonderful. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the top part first. Now the top part shows all the features of the system that we do cover and that we can service. The service, of course, you have to pay for parts and labor unless you agree, unless you choose one of our service plans. And we have a plan by a third-party provider also, and I'll go over those with you also. But I want to first go over the list of the parts of the system that we will service. There's the air eliminator, the AB aquastat, the bearing assembly, the blown burner fuses, boiler drain, emergency switches, extract tank, the fan belt, the fill and vent caps, the firematic valve, the delayed oil valve, the draft regulator, excuse me, the dual unit feeder and relief valve, the electric wiring to the controls, the electrode, nozzles, oil filters and cartridges, the pigtails, porcelains, the pressure control, the pressure gauge, the fuel pump, the ignition transformer impeller, the limit controls, the 9-inch smoke pipe, the steam pipe safety temperature gauge, the plain thermostat, transformers, the vent alarms and zone valves, the pressure relief valve, the primary controls, the relays 8184 /RA117, the sight glass and washer, the burner head, the burner motor, the cadmium cells, the clock circulator, the circulating motor, and the circulator couplings. Now these are all aspects of the heating system that we will service. And I'm going to read this section to you now. This is also important for your application. Upon approval of your equipment and signing of this contract, a qualified heating service technician will perform the following yearly maintenance. Number 1, we will provide annual cleaning and adjustment of the burner and boiler for efficiency and safety. Number 2, we will provide 24-hour emergency service with reasonable promptness. Number 3, there shall be no obligation by Gulf Heating Services Incorporated to replace parts which are rendered unfit for use. For example, flooded basements, freezing, fires, or any cause other than normal or natural causes. Number 4, Gulf Heating Services Incorporated can cancel this agreement without notice if the customer purchases fuel from anyone other than Gulf Heating Services Incorporated. And that's simply because if you have another group, another company servicing your unit, they could cause damage, which we would be liable for because of this contract. So if you do become aware that you are working with another provider, it will render this contract null and void, and we will no longer provide services. Number 6, all fuel must be paid for within 10 days from date of delivery, otherwise subject to 10% per month interest charges and a $25 late fee. This agreement shall automatically renew itself unless otherwise terminated by either party prior to expiration. So this is just a brief summary of what is involved in the contract, and there are some other parts to it that I will go over also. So what we'll need from you on the form, when you bring it back, just make sure it's completed, this section. We'll need your name, your full name, the address. Now that would not be a post office box, that would be the physical address where the services will be provided. The city and state, the zip code, telephone numbers, home number, and a cell phone number if that's available. Or you can add a work number if you want, and just whichever number you prefer to use for a contact number. And the effective date, you could just put the date that you would like service to begin. And if you have an end date, like say you were only going to live there for a year and you knew you were only going to be there a year, you could go ahead and put in the end date there, the month and the year. If you don't have an end date, you can just leave it blank, it's okay. And then you just sign and date it at the bottom. Now right here we have the annual charge, sale tax, and the total amount due. We will complete that before we start your service, so you don't need to fill that out. That is a figure that we will put in there for you. And of course we will show you that so you'll know how much you have to pay up front to get service started. Okay, so that is the main contract that you will sign. And to go along with that contract, we have an addendum. We have just this appendix to go with the contract. And I know it looks like a lot, but I'm going to read it off for you. So just to make sure you understand everything, there are 15 items here. And these are just the general conditions. Okay. And these are all part of the agreement itself. Excuse me. Gulf Heating Services Incorporated, or Gulf, I'll just refer to it as Gulf part of the time, and the customer agree that there are no promises, terms, conditions, or obligations other than those which are included in the plan. This plan may not be modified orally, and all modifications will require the signature of an officer of Gulf Heating Services Incorporated, or Gulf. And number 2, this plan does not cover repairs or materials required because of damage by fire, water, seepage, and leaks from pipes, vents, force, or other acts of God, and in no event shall Gulf be liable for consequential or special damages or for the failure to delay to respond if such failure or delay is occasioned by riot, smoke, fire, flood, force, or other acts of God. And number 3, within 60 days after agreement, Gulf shall have the right to terminate this plan without penalty if upon inspection of equipment it ascertains it is not in proper working order or repair. Number 4. This plan does not cover parts required or services rendered as a result of power interruptions, insufficient water to the boiler, insufficient fuel when the customer is not on the automatic delivery system, or when the customer's deliveries have been held due to an overdue balance. Services rendered under conditions outlined in this paragraph will be invoiced at prevailing rates. Number 5. This plan does not cover services rendered as a result of customer's failure to replace fuse or reset circuit breaker, set thermostat properly, turn on emergency switch, open the valve, bleed air, drain extension tank, clean air filters, baseboard, radiators, and ducts. This plan also does not cover water leaks or any plumbing unless otherwise specified under this plan. Services rendered under conditions outlined in this paragraph will be invoiced in accordance with the provisions. Number 6. During the evening hours and Saturday, Sunday, and holidays, only emergency services will be provided. Minor complaints will be scheduled and taken care of during the following workday. Number 7. For any breach of this plan, negligence, or other failure whatsoever on the part of Gulf Heating Services, Inc., Gulf is hereby limited to performing the work only. Number 8. Gulf shall not be responsible for water freeze-up or oil spills if caused by a change in the customer's pattern of fuel oil consumption or customer's use of alternate sources of fuel, causing Gulf to be unable to determine the proper delivery schedule under the automatic delivery system. Yes, of course, we can talk about the automatic delivery. Absolutely. And we'll get into that in just a minute. Number 9, Gulf shall not be required to deliver oil on the will call system and shall determine whether a customer qualifies for the automatic delivery system. Number 10, Gulf will not be responsible for damage resulting from clogged oil vents, filled pipe, or water in the oil tanks from any other damage caused by beyond Gulf's control. Number 11, if the customer's oil consumption falls below the minimum of 700 gallons per year, Gulf, at its sole discretion, shall have the right to cancel this plan and bill the customer the annual rate of a service contract. If this occurs, then Gulf shall reserve the right to bill all oil burner services, including parts and labor, performed during that period at the company's prevailing rates for parts and labor. Number 12. If a customer cancels their contract prior to the end of this plan, Gulf shall reserve the right to bill all oil burner services, including parts and labor, performed during that period at the company's prevailing rates for parts and labor. And number 13, if in compliance with Regulation Z of the U.S. federal government, our finance charge is 1.5% per month for all past due balances over 30 days, which is a true annual percentage rate of 18%. In the event of the default by a purchaser further agrees to pay attorney's fees necessary for the collection of any sums due to Gulf. Number 14, the customer agrees to pay company standard service rates plus parts when any portion of their heating system isn't covered by this contract. Number 15, Gulf also reserves the right to refuse all service without notice if the customer is in arrears or fails to pay any bill within 30 days. So, now these are the general conditions, and of course you're free to read over these at your leisure, but they go along as an attachment to the application itself. So I'm going to set that aside over here and to keep it all together, make sure I don't forget anything to go in your packet. And you had a question about the automatic delivery, okay? That is a very popular feature that we offer our customers, and that way you don't have to remember to call every month, and it's billed automatically. You don't have to send any money. We usually have either a checking account set up with you or a credit card, so that the payments come out automatically the same time every month, and the same amount is delivered every month. Of course, it can be changed depending on your usage. If we notice that you're using more, we can of course adjust the amount that we deliver. If you're using less, we can adjust it in that direction also. But what we need to do, and we can actually start this process today if you're interested, before you start your application process, what I can do is on my computer system, I can set up just like a placeholder account for you. it won't be your actual customer account number, but I can go ahead and get an account started. And we can add either checking account information or a major credit card, Visa or MasterCard. We do not accept American Express at this time, so it would have to be Visa or MasterCard or a checking account, like I said. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I could go ahead and enter your information in the system, and they can begin the credit check just to evaluate your application for the automated delivery, if you were interested. Okay, wonderful. Do you want to do a checking account or credit card? Credit card. All right, let me get to that screen. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and get it. You can get it out. That's all right. Can you tell me, is it a Visa or Visa? Okay. Anytime you're ready, you take the number. Okay. Mm-hmm. 04. Okay, great. And the expiration date? 18. Okay. And the three-digit number on the back. Wonderful. And your name as it appears on the card is your middle initial. And can you spell your last name for me one more time? Okay. And the billing address for the credit card? And the zip code? Okay. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and enter this with your permission. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and enter this. It's kind of late in the day, so it may actually, the process might not start until tomorrow, but what will happen is the system has your information. They will process it's basically like an application to start the automated delivery. They will do a credit check, and they will, just a second, let me get back there. Didn't go through. Try that one more time. No, I don't need your information again. That's okay. Sometimes my computer doesn't cooperate. There we go. That did it. We'll probably hear something back in about 48 hours, 2 business days, and we can have it emailed to you if you would like. All right, let me get back to that screen. Okay, your email address, Gmail, and you should receive an email whenever the application has been processed. You may need to check your spam folder. If you don't receive something in the next 2 or 3 days, I would check your spam folder or your junk folder. Sometimes it does get routed off into spam. The filters think it's junk mail. So if you don't see anything, just check that. And if you don't have anything in there, just give us a call and we will check on that for you. So that's done. That's one step done. So that's one less thing you'll have to do when you come back to submit the application. And now what I would like to go over with you in this, all these items will also be included in your packet, but I want to go over them briefly with you. Now, the first thing I have are our service agreements. These are offered through Gulf Residential Oil. And these are things that we provide or that we offer as an option to you if you're interested. These are billed monthly. These are added to your bill. We have the gold package, the premium, and the tune and test, which is just a basic agreement. This is just like a basic service agreement kind of thing. And it just covers the bare minimum. But the gold it covers the most. And the gold is an additional $5 a month. The premium is $2.50, and the tune and test is $1.75, $1.75 additional that will be added to your bill. So like for mainly all you're getting is oil heat, right? You don't have gas, natural gas for your dryer or your cooking, okay? And the air conditioning, we're not doing anything with that. I know, okay. So like up here, You can see the little white squares show the different things that are covered by the different agreements. For example, for the one thing that is covered by all three is the annual tune-up and inspection. We do that for any of these agreements, the gold, premium, or the tune and test. But some other things are covered differently, like this second one. All diagnostic labor needed to repair or replace the parts listed under the gold service plan is covered under gold and premium. The labor coverage, 24 hours a day, all holidays and weekends during October 1st to April 30th, which is the main time that you should be using your heating oil. That is only covered under the gold plan. And that one is one of the most popular. This is the main reason people get the gold plan, the gold agreement, is because of that right there. That's a big money saver. Complete vacuum of the chimney base, only on the gold plan. Listed parts coverage for the oil burning system and all primary controls, including thermostats and zone valves, is only covered under the gold plan. Now, one thing that is the same for all three, again, like the first one, is that we offer a discount on flat rate charges, including plumbing, of 10% for all plans. We also have a computer-generated combustion efficiency test, which we do for all three. The humidifier inspection is only under gold and premium. The Advantage Club discounts are available for all three. And these are gas, heat, and air conditioning. Like I said, so these won't apply to you, just mainly these right here. So this is something to think about. If it's something that you're interested in, this is something that we have a separate application for. It's done all on computer. So when you come back, if you're interested, we can fill all that out for you. You won't have to fill out any forms or anything. And we'll put that with your packet also to make sure that you have that with you. Now, the second thing I want to show you as far as plans go, this is offered by a third party. This is not something that Gulf Residential Oil does. This is offered by a different company called Advantage. They have the value plan and the premier plan. And this is just additional coverage. This is billed annually, which you only pay for it once a year, and it covers you for that entire calendar year. And this little paper here just shows you some pictures of your oil pump or your oil furnace system, and most of them will look like this. Probably the one in your house will look very similar to this. And a lot of customers find this really helpful if they're having any problems in particular and they know which part they're having a problem with. They can go to this little guide. They just keep this in a drawer somewhere. They can go here and look at it, and then they can go find the part, and then when they call, they can explain, give the technician a general idea of what is going on and where the problem is. And each part has a number, and it shows you the different parts that are covered by the two different plans. The value plan, which is the V, or the premier plan, which is a P, and the V, the red dots and the yellow dots. And this is just a really neat thing. A lot of them are covered by both plans. So you really get great coverage depending on which plan you choose, and you don't have to choose either. This is just optional, additional coverage, just an extra layer of coverage if you're interested. And we don't receive any money from Advantage for this. This is just something we offer just to help our customers out. And the only sections that would really apply to you would be fuel and combustion and the warm air. The hot water and steam components wouldn't apply to you since we're only using this for heating your home. Like, for example, we could show you just some of the things that are available from both plans, the things that they cover. The air tube, the burner coupling, the burner fan, burner motor, the cad cell eye, the cad cell relay, the combustion chamber, the delayed oil valve, the draft regulator, the electrodes, emergency switch, the end core, the firematic valve and fuel pump, the fuel pump gasket, the fuel pump strainer, the flue pipe, the igniters, the ignition transformer nozzle, the nozzle adapter, the nozzle line and oil check valve. We also this also covers the oil filter cartridge and the oil filter complete the safety valve, porcelains, primary control, thermostat standard, and the thermostat clock type, you'll get a $50 credit. So it's just a little something to consider. And if you're interested in this, we have more information available, which we can go over when you come back to complete your application. So I'm going to put this with your packet. And the final thing that I have is this is an additional layer of protection again, and this is one that a lot of people like, and we will go over that. This is just a maintenance. This is kind of maintenance insurance. And there are different layers to this, different levels. We have the bronze agreement, the silver agreement, the gold agreement, and the platinum agreement. And these are billed annually, like the one from Advantage. It's not once a month, it's annual. So once you just make the one payment and you're covered for the entire year. And the investment here, and it shows you that you get a warranty. You get 1 year for bronze and silver, 2 years for the gold, and 3 years for the platinum. And you get a full safety inspection. They clean the drain lines. They test the gas pressure and refrigerant pressures. There are all different kinds of features here that are available depending on the level of coverage that you choose. It's entirely optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But it goes over also some of the benefits of maintenance. Timely and proper maintenance keeps your machine running as efficiently as possible, saving you energy. Correction of developing problems. We can pinpoint and correct developing problems at the earliest, least expensive time before equipment fails. Lower life cycle costs. Over the life of your equipment, you will experience lower total operating and maintenance costs with fewer disruptions. You spend less and get more. Longer life cycles for equipment exist because of preventive maintenance. Specialized testing. We will use some of the most technologically advanced equipment in the industry to test and service your equipment. Quality Technical Personnel, or QTP. Our technical personnel receive valuable service support and training in the daily operation and maintenance of your equipment. Maximized home comfort satisfaction. Operational showroom that allows us to review your lifestyle so we can customize your home comfort needs. And finally, build up purchase accrual. Every time you renew, you will increase the amount of comfort cash you have in your account. This comfort cash can be used towards any new systems or accessories in the future. So again, this is optional, but I did want to make you aware of it. This is really popular among our long-term customers, people who own their homes and have been there for 20 or 30 years. Something like this can really come in handy for somebody like that. So I'm going to gather up all your papers here. Do you have any questions at this point? Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to put the additional coverage documents in the back, but I'm going to put your oil burner maintenance and parts agreement document in the front with the general conditions addendum behind it. And just want to put this in the front of your packet so you just remember to fill this out. And whenever you're ready to bring it back and complete your application, just give us a call and we'll be glad to set up an appointment for you so we can get everything started for you. I'm going to put everything in this manila folder for you. Keep it all together nice and neat. It doesn't have your name on it or anything. It's just a plain little manila folder for you. And I've put the application on top for you. And absolutely, I do have a card. And this business card has our phone number on it, fax number, and it also has our 24-hour emergency number on it. So that would be a good thing to keep after your service starts if you have problems. Especially, it seems like a lot of people have problems at night and on the weekends when you can't reach us. There's an emergency number on there that you can call. So if you need assistance, you can give us a call anytime, day or night, 365 days a year. Okay, and here is your folder. It was very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in. And again, my name is Beth. And if you need anything, please feel free to call. And it was wonderful to meet you. And we look forward to working with you. Great. Thank you so much.